KSYM, San Antonio College Radio. This is Urban Sweet D Major, Cheryl Metal, Kool, Era in studio.
Yes,
So,
yes.
so at this time, like I said, just dropped the first album. How did everything go from there, man?
Well, I mean, honestly, we dropped the first album, Cosmonauts, and right when we released the record, Indie Distribution claimed bankruptcy. So the banks came in to take all their inventory.
Oh, wow.
So they were holding our, like, they locked everything up, and they were like, well, we can't get your product out because we filed for bankruptcy. Of course, they opened again under a different name, but it was just, and so we're like, we need our product. And they're like, no, we can't give it to you. And we're like, we're showing up and getting our product. They're like, okay, well, you can come get your product. You know what I mean? Like, we just said, we didn't make anything. We're like, we're going to be there, so you better have our product. Okay, we'll just leave it there, and you just come and take it. So we went and collected our stuff. So it was real rough because, like, we only had a certain amount of stuff that got out. But the crazy thing was we got a call from Japan, and they were like, you know, really, really bad English. And we knew they were Japanese, and luckily Doug and I could speak Japanese. And as soon as they heard we could speak Japanese, they flipped out. And so they're like, we need, you know, X amount of this vinyl. Can you hear it? We're like, really? Like, you need 3,000 copies like that? We're like, oh my gosh. So we started sending them. They were like, yeah, this guy named Curtis Harmon from Katy who moved to Japan. Dude, I was like, Curtis Harmon, I used to listen to his quick mixes. He brought our record in there and said, this is a Japanese guy. You got to check him out. And so they ordered a record from us, and they were like, well, then do you know these guys? And so that's how we started going, yeah, like, we'll get you records from these guys and these guys. And it made it easier for them because we could be their liaison and communicate. So we started helping getting records out to Japan. So that kind of helped us because it's hard, like, when you have a record label, to make money. Like, you have to sell a lot of records because just the overhead, the promotion, everything. So that in itself, the distribution fact and being able to do that, we also, you know, Rhett and I got to go to Japan with DJ Cuber, Shortcut, and we went on our first tour to Japan in like late 95, 96 twice. And DJs were king in Japan, you know, like, of course, Cuber, like, they're so...
Oh, I bet they loved him.
Oh, my God.
Oh,
I mean, who doesn't, right? And Shortcut and Rhett, and they were killing it. So I got to be the MC for that whole thing. And that was my first tour. And that was my first time I ever got to go to Japan. Because, like, when I grew up, we didn't have a lot of money. We just drove the Impala to all the national parks and stuff, you know. And so I never really went overseas. So to be able to go to my, you know, grandparents' motherland, and it literally was just the most amazing thing to be able to tour Japan like twice and be treated like royalty, to be honest, because that was because of, you know, Rhett, Cuber, and Shortcut. But still, I was able to experience that. And then, you know, from that point on, that's when we decided to do a visionary. Well, we just did a visionary song on a little like a white label, and DJ Babu put it on World Famous Beat Junkies Volume 1, and it did really well, and we were just in Chicago, and Elemental was like, why don't we just make a Visionaries record, because we were talking about doing the Kool and Rhythmatic second album, and then Babu was like, yeah, man, everyone's feeling like that song you guys did that I put on, you know. So that was in 96. We played a show at Loyola University with like Percy P and this guy E.C. Illa, Chicago cat. Remember that cat? Yeah, and so we're like, you know what? Let's do a Visionaries album. So that's when we started working on doing stuff for Visionaries, and we kind of like, that was the trajectory of it. We went from Kool and Rhythmatic to like strength in numbers, because it's just working with the Visions is just like, there's a different energy when you have a group of 5 MCs, and you know, and of course Rhythmatic is being our DJ. It's just you know, we model ourselves after Run DMC. You know, like when we saw Jam Master J Rock with Run DMC, it's like, you cannot have a dope DJ. Like, that's the foundation of hip hop, and that's the foundation of your group. And I was a DJ myself too, right? And I'm like, and Rhett is all about that. The first time I saw Rhett, so here's my story about Rhett. First time I met him, I went to this club called the Spice Club on Hollywood Boulevard, and in the front room, they would always have everyone, like Rockstar, you know, Steven Tyler, Billy Idol, Milli Vanilli, like Chuck D, Michael Bivins, like everyone would be up in the front. And then in the back room, they would have like reggae and hardcore, like underground hip hop, or just true hip hop, whatever. And so I went in the back, and I thought there was a record playing, but I hear a vocal routine, like Grandmaster Caz and Whipper, just killing it, like Park style over breaks. And then I look and I see who I thought, I was like, who's this little dude with the fro and glasses, And I look, and he's rocking like funky drummer and just doing doubles and doing cutouts and doing like big beat, and they're just rocking. I was like, I never got to see anyone rock in the South Bronx, but this is what I imagine what it felt like.
Yeah.
In a gritty, dark room, and I had to go up and shake Rhett's hand. I was like, man, I just. And then I looked at it and go, this dude's Filipino. Filipino fro. And I was like, oh my God, you're Asian, dude. Like, it tripped me out, but it was dope. I was like, I'd never seen anyone rock like that. So I was like, having him as the DJ has like superpowered us as a group, because we always like try to like come out with that, like I said, that Run DMC energy. And I mean, like having the DJ just come out and just smash you with the presence, and then you have to be on the vocals like Kaz and Whip and all those guys, like be an MC and control the party, and that's kind of what we modeled ourselves after. So having Rhett at the helm, and I mean, like I said, seeing legends like that and Rhett rocking with them like that, I was just like, hands down, man. Like a lot of MCs are arrogant. They talk down to the DJ. We're like, we wouldn't be nothing without our DJ. So yeah.
The whole culture wouldn't be.
Exactly. I mean, that is the truth. Like, people don't realize how important the DJ is and DJing is, and just the whole movement. And people forget, but we can't let them, right?
True that.
Can't let them.
Hey y'all, stay tuned. Do not go anywhere. We've got more with Kool and Era. Man, hope y'all enjoyed this, because we definitely are. Hey y'all, do not go anywhere. The second hour of the Urban Suite is coming up next.
Yes.